I'm on a journey to beat the Touhou series on Lunatic difficulty, the hardest mode. A mode that I thought was out of reach. So let's see what it actually takes to clear this mode. With today's game, Touhou 7, Perfect Cherry Blossom. This game has a ton of refinements compared to Embodiment of Scarlet Devil, the last game. It keeps EOSD's reactive dodging style, but with more slow and constructed bullet patterns that tries to cut out some of the RNG nonsense. At least for the most part. Here's some of the big changes now when we focus. For the first time in Touhou, we can see our hitbox, and we have an aura around our character so that we can see them easier in our peripheral. There is now an enemy indicator at the bottom of the screen showing us where the boss is, and the bosses have a large circular aura around them, making locating the bosses in a dense pattern no longer an issue. When I initially started playing Touhou, I wasn't a big fan of this game. I didn't like the slow, dodgy spam bullets, and the winter aesthetic was kinda sleepy to me. But now, going into this later and for the Lunatic run, I have a much greater appreciation both of the routing of this game and the vibe and atmosphere of this game are actually incredibly strong. We now have 3 characters to choose from, with Sakuya joining the roster. You should probably pick Reimu B for the tiny hitbox, or pick any of the Sakuya shot types because Sakuya comes with 4 bombs of life, and she's just good. We are just gonna be dumb and play Marissa B, who only has 2 bombs of life, because this is the coolest looking laser that Marissa will have in this series, and the bombs just delete everything. You will never have to double bomb a pattern with Marissa B, mostly because you will not have 2 bombs in stock to do so. I streamed my runs if you want to see the live commentary, but now let's see what Touhou 7 Lunatic has in store for us. Let's begin the run. Even as early as stage 1, we're going to find a lot of differences from this game compared to the last game, Embodiment of Scarlet Devil. At the beginning, we can just stay here because these initial fairies are going to shoot around us. And our shot is so narrow, our laser here, that we pick up all the power-ups. Look at the point counter on the right. Instead of it being getting 1-ups based off of our score, we get them based off the point items. We're not even going to get like the maximum amount of those. You can get a lot in this game. This looks kind of like Embodiment of Scarlet Devil, but you can see the pacing's a whole lot faster. We got these enemies flying in pretty early now. Instead of dealing with a bunch of those fairies shooting the spreads for like a majority of the stage, it's going like section, 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 almost. Lucky Marissa's speed, we picked up that power-up, bam! Already to the mid-boss, Chirno, demoted from stage 2 boss, already she's a stage 1 mid-boss. This first pattern's easy to dodge, it's not too bad. However, we want to kill her as she's shooting out a pattern so that we could get all these cherries to set us up for after the boss. You'll see why that's effective. See, we wait, we don't kill her until she shoots this out. Now we have our first real pattern. This one looks intimidating. But the thing is these bullets are so slow that we can just sit under her using that new enemy marker on the bottom so we can always be hitting her. And it's fine if we're on the sides of these vertical, like, slow bullets. We're really just on the sides of here and making sure we're under her and only dodging the fast bullets or those, like, thicker wave of horizontal white bullets. That's literally all we have to worry about, and the rest is fine. And now look, we got the cherry border. Not only does it give us a cancel, but look, all the items are going to us. So we're getting powered up really nicely here by setting up that first pattern on Chirno. We're moving along with these circular enemies, and then as soon as, whenever a fairy spawns, we'll go back and kill that. And you can see we're almost, it took us to stage 3 to power up in the last game. Here, if you want to dodge this, you just tap to the side once. We want to hit 128 power for max. And this one goes out before we have to do any dodges here. Now for Lingering Cold. So this pattern's kind of like Rumia's. We want to just stay still so these cyan bullets, which are aim, this whole cyan pattern, so it creates like not too many problematic lanes. So it's easy to navigate, and then from there we're just looking at these blue bullets and watching to make sure we could dodge those, not have them overlap our lane, or move vertically if they're moving on the sides. We start seeing these lasers. We don't have to deal with those yet. This pattern here, these patterns, I find it easier. This game has a lot of this style of pattern. It's not as wally as the last game, but it's a lot of dodging reading. I would be looking up ahead instead of microing around you. This is a problematic pattern. We can devote all of our attention to these arrow bullets, but if we do, we might get clipped by these lasers. We need to use our peripheral and be ready for the timings of where the lasers are about to go out, and then pay attention to where those are. Watch this. You see this V coming in? See, if we're a bit on the sides, those could be a problem. If we're on the middle up a bit, watching out for those, it makes it not bad. That's the first real pattern here that we have to think about. We're going to see at the start of stage 2 kind of how the theme of this stage is regarding the routing, where we're going to have these bubbles up top that spawn fairies, and we're going to get enemies streaming from the sides. everything, vast majority of this stage is hard aimed at us. So what we want to be doing is we want to be macro dodging around everything for the vast majority of this whole stage. This game has so much dodging in it, and we want to restrict how many actual like dangerous dodging sections where we can make a mistake are. And if we memorize where all of these are, you can you can adapt on this one and just stream side to side. You don't have to hard memorize, but if you do, it ups your consistency a whole lot. Because you see here, we don't have to do a single dodge through this first half. We get to here, but these disappear. As the mid-boss comes in, we're baiting off Chen to the side so that she doesn't overlap with her second pattern. We are going to see that green pattern again, but this is so much easier without two patterns overlaying, and this one we only handle alone, even though we saw it again. It's a way easier to dodge that on the third pattern rather than trying to speed through the first. Now we got a dodging one. This one's not too bad as long as we handle everything one at a time. We want to handle each color one at a time so we're not dodging across, dodging two at once. We're going to see a lot of this pattern coming up into the next type of game. Now for the second half, it's very similar to the first. However, we have these new fairies up top. You see, look at the top right here. That top left. If we leave these alive, they're going to flood the screen with slow-moving bullets. We want to be on top of them as soon as they come in. So look here at the top left. Those fairies come in, we kill them immediately, and then we macro around the rest of the bullets. So now it's just like the start of this stage, where we can handle it fairly easily by macroing around everything, just as long as we have a bullet on top of those fairies, which cause the lingering bullets. Now this game does pretty good with sound cues, so you see it's gotten more calm now. We're getting ready for the end of this stage. As soon as it hits a peak moment in the track, we're going to want to bait everything off to the side, because instead of doing a hard dodge at the end here, see, we're off to the side, we can actually fit in between these yellow and these red bullets, right as that kind of peak hits right there. Now we're off to Chen. Kind of hard for a stage 2 boss. We have to do a lot of dodging. Watch out for these blue bullets right here. You see this line of 4 blue? The rest of this is not too bad to dodge at all, but I could find you can accidentally wall yourself if you're not paying attention to the blue. That's what I'd mostly focus on. We got a really lucky border here. Our borders are not routed past this point. We're just going to use them as they come and make the most we can out of them. So here we got a really lucky border. We managed to cancel 2 or 3 layers of this pattern. We didn't even have to dodge this one at all. Otherwise, this one's a bit spooky to dodge. It's non-spell. It looks a bit spooky. There's a lot of overlap, but we just move off to the right. All the arrows are aimed, and those are the fast ones, so they automatically miss. We can ignore those, and we're just watching for these circular bullets. And then we can handle it fine. Now we have an actual routing pattern. She will always follow and dash to this path. I think the bullets are going to be in the same positions where you're expecting as well. So, for the second one, we're always going to move up to the, top left. You find whatever pathway you want that makes it through here. I like the way we did this, and always dodging about the same bullets around when we have our plan to. And you could get through this one fairly consistently. Look at our history. We haven't even dropped this one once. This one we have dropped, however. This is kind of a scary one. She moves around a lot, so you might have to switch lanes. It gets a bit hectic in the lanes, but now we could demonstrate our bomb. We don't get that many of them, but whenever we do hit it, the pattern just dies. It just dies. That's kind of why I wanted to play this one. Even with the lack of bombs, the bombs are really strong. That last pattern's a bit spooky, though, so that's a fine place to bomb. We only had to use 1 bomb in this stage. Now, stage 3 is pretty vicious, both the stage section and the boss. This is kind of the first wall, probably, when you're learning Lunatic here. So this is fine, but we're going to see the stage boss already. We see Alice. She's got hands. We're going to fight her a lot. This pattern's not a big deal. This is kind of her warning shot. Basically, we get in a lane, and then we just adapt it if any of the future bullets are going to stop us from moving within the lane. And then we'll get out of there. We'll swap lanes to the side. It's not bad. It's kind of slow. You have time to read the lanes. This is a nice intro, but now we're here. This section, what we're going to do is start left, move to the right fast. If we do that right, then the rest of this one, to make it as easy as possible, we're just going to go from one side to the other. We should have enough room. These red bullets aren't too much of a problem. There's a big gap within those. If we do this strategy, it makes it a lot less hectic. And she's back already. Now with a much harder pattern. I got spooked. I didn't know if I'd make that dodge or not. I'm not very good at react death bombing in this game. We kind of planned to spend bombs on Alice, though. She's kind of mean. We made it through. Now we actually have a spell card in addition. This one, we want to hit as many fairies as we can. And then you see these blue lanes and these red bullets. The blue ones go out really fast, so that's going to determine what lane we're in, and then we're just hard focused on the red bullets. We got a cherry here, so I tried to pop it for the next layer, but it's fine. We should kill it before these red bullets really collapse in on us. Now, I tried to do this section. I learned like a route to get through this section without bombing, but I was so inconsistent at it, and if you mess it up, you get clipped and died because you have to be aggressive. I just settled for doing this, where we just last a bit and then pop a bomb. This is our shot bomb. Very good if you point blank stuff up top with it. And it just gets us through here consistently. You kill a whole of these fairies and move up. Because otherwise, I was finding a lot of problems on the second half of the stage there. Kind of an issue. You could try doing it normal and then react bombing, but it's a bit spooky. You're pretty close up. Alice! She's a pretty mean stage 3 boss. This pattern, it's kind of static. You want to find your dodge you want to always make around there. I'd practice that initial dodge a whole lot. Because it's easy to mess that one up. It's oddly fast, despite being fairly predictable. This is a really hard dodging pattern. So what I think you have to do is the slow bullets are pretty slow. We're just looking at the fast bullets and being out of their way immediately. And then as the slow bullets linger after the fast ones, then we can calmly handle those ones. You see what's gonna happen here is we're gonna get pushed off to the side because these kind of face diagonal. It's easy to also like dodge into them diagonally or dodge away from them diagonally. You see by doing that, we got pushed off to here. Now we just want to not use a bomb. We just don't want to use 2 resources on this one. This is a pretty hectic dodging one. This is like what this game is known for. When I think of this game, I think of that. Now, let's not pick these up until the pattern hits. Even though this is like the shortest non-spell in the game. Whenever you fully power up, you get a full screen cancel. Now here, you see how they spawn in an L around the screen, like an upside down L? We can move away from that side, and then we don't have to deal with the fairy's bullets. But as these bursts come out, they'll expand more. So we want to dodge through the ones that are easy to dodge while they're narrow, and then retreat back. We have room to retreat away from the fairies if we need like more time to think and find our routing. I'm talking over this pattern because this shit is easy. Up until this part here, I'm not too good at managing this. You have to be in a lane, and then you have to, the lane you're in turns into the lane you have to dodge as you enter the other lane. I get my head mixed up on there. This one's not so bad. She's making a bunch of circular wheels, and we can move vertically through multiple of them at a time. We don't need to handle them at once. You see here, we dodge through like several of them. It's not too bad once you can see the vertical lanes. Now, we're going to wait on the last pattern to when these fairies come out and then bait off to the side. So they come out now. We move over. We're fast, we're Marissa, so we can bait them at that timing. This is a really slow pattern where we're kind of stuck in the middle here. We're watching for these horizontal layer of yellow bullets. We often get pushed to the left side, and we're just trying to make sure that we're not pushed to the left. Oh, see, like those yellow bullets around us. We're just trying not to get in a position where we wall ourselves, and then we should be fine. Those are the biggest thing you should be paying attention to there because the rest of it's slow. Now we're to stage 4, the longest stage in the game. This is not as bad as people say. I'll go into that a bit more. If we want to just handle this super brain dead, we just wait till we're about to be hit, then we tap. You're going to see I mess that up a bit. I tap a bit early. You have to wait until they're just about to hit you. There's probably safer ways to do it if you don't want to do that type of strategy where you're streaming everything. Because you can see with that type of strategy, if it goes well, then it's like you don't have to think. But if it goes wrong, then you get clipped somewhere. That's the issue with that type of a safe spot strategy. This stage is really long, but like you just handle section by section and look at stuff like this. This is not a dodging stage. You can see how ham these bullets would be if we were moving out and about. But like if we just do a strategy like this, moving in this L, then we handle sections like this. The vast majority of this stage is like this, where we just handle it. Section comes in, we do our preset strategy, and it handles it fine. This stage gives you tons of points. We're not actually going to optimize it very well. We're going to miss out on some extents, but I'm mostly focused on just not dying. You see these fairies are now towards the end. Now that they're like moved from the in and now they're spawning on the out, we move over to the side. We kill multiple of them at once. So we only have this one side of green bullets and we can get out there. So here's a big part of this stage. These shoot revenge bullets whenever we shoot them. So for this type of section, it's not bad to deal with because we could sit up here and hold focus and just stream all these, and since we're at the point of collection up top, we get their points as well. We don't have to pick those up. But next section, we have to we're not going to shoot here, because these revenge bullets will be a problem. If they, you don't kill them, they shoot these green bullets, but if you do kill them, they shoot these red, and you can see how these red are more problematic. They linger for a really long time, which is fine for that part. But Coming up in this stage, you really, really, really do not want these to shoot revenge bullets, so we're going to time ourselves. We're coming up to a mid-boss after these Zako. We're missing out on points, but I just want this to be brain dead. Lily's kind of a problem, and we need to kill her at the exact time we always want so that the next section spawns. We're at it when we... Like, we want to know where we're at in the next section as soon as Lily dies. So I'm so bad at dodging the end of Lily that I just ended up doing this. We just sit on her with the shot bomb. We get most of the damage out. And then we just have to tag her for a little bit here. And now we're to the next section. So these purple bullets go out. Every 2 waves of purple revenge bullets, we stop shooting. We wait for one to pass, and now we go through. These blues shoot to the left of us, so we go to the right. They shoot to the right of us, we go to the left. 2 purple streams of bullets, we stop shooting. Remember, every 2 purple, we stop. We let them go, and now we do repeat the same thing. So you see, the blue are on our left, the blue are on our right. Now 2 purples, you can go whichever way on the purples. We stop shooting. That's why we want Lily to always die in the same spot, so we don't get in a random spot here, and we don't know where the ones we're trying to skip are. Now we get have a breather. This section's not hard to live on. It is hard to optimize grabbing the points for, because you want to get up to the point of collection. You can see, I think we missed out on 1 or 2 extends just by not optimizing these, but not being aggressive and accidentally getting clipped somewhere, I think was worth it. But if you're worried about it, there is room to get more extends. This section's going to repeat a bunch. What I found what we want to do is we want to start... We'll start on the left, making this L. We tap a bit on the side, and then once we hit the middle, if we move more aggressively, I find once we hit the middle, the way the diagonal bullets are and the aimed like streams of bullets are, they kind of cause problems if we're tapping slowly. So once we hit this midpoint, that's a part where we want to start going way faster. And it's going to keep going, and it gets harder and harder as we get to these red bullets. But we're almost to the end. Right here, this thing is kind of static. You can dodge it the same exact way. I don't remember what happened here. I think I just brain farted and wasn't sure if I was where I thought we were, so I just popped the bomb for safety. It refunds us a bomb, though. So we got 2 going into. See, that wasn't so bad. It's long, but like as you handle section by section, suddenly you're to the boss. Now, depending on which character you're using, this is a triple boss fight, and we're going to fight solo bosses or all of them together. Depending on which character you use, you get a different starting character. So we get Lyrica. Lyrica's really easy, except for this first pattern is such bastard. It's such motherfucker. I cannot... This is one of my least favorite patterns. This shit is so clippy, and it's so slightly different depending on your rank, which could be vastly different depending on what happened on... I cannot explain. I cannot describe how much I hate this pattern. This is like my least favorite Touhou pattern of all time. It doesn't even look like it. All right, now this is much easier. All of the rest of Lyrica is super free. So these red bullets aren't an issue because if we just commit to moving one direction after the red goes out, the red are aimed, they automatically miss. We literally are just looking at blue. Like we just commit to just moving left, left, left around the blue, and the blue's so slow it's easy to like adjust your speed. Now we get all 3 of them. Our lasers actually... I think whichever one you hit more is the boss we'll get next once we're fighting solo. So we're hitting Lyrica at the first. We just dodge as soon as the next color is about to hit us. And then after this yellow, we move off to the side. And now we have enough room here to make our way all the way to the back and kill the pattern. We are just looking at the red bullets now. You can tap. You don't need to tap slowly. Just make sure you don't get hit by the red. Real quick, here's how you deal with this pattern. It's super free. We have to do 1 dodge for first pattern, 2 dodges for second pattern, 3 dodges for third pattern. Listen to the bullet taps. I'll point them out, and then that's when you have to tap. So listen to these cues. Now. 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 You just tap with that. Now. 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 On those beats, you auto-dodge everything. That's why we want Lyrica. Lyrica's super free on this later half. It's just that fucking first pattern, man. Alright, this one, we want to be up high, dodging through these quick. If we're at the bottom, you can see how we could get walled in between both of these lanes. If we do this, we can escape out the side, and it's not bad at all. You don't really have to dodge. You just have to make sure you're a bit high when you first enter that pattern. Now, they're going to start batting around these bullets. We're going to sit in the middle. Our laser's kind of nice. It pierces through multiple of them, so whenever they're overlapping, we hit a bunch of them. I find it fine to sit in the middle here. And you can see they actually bat a lot of the bullets away from you. I think sitting at the hard bottom is actually not bad for that problem, that pattern. It's pretty slow, so you can see a lot of stuff. We have to make judgment calls on this one. We're going to sit on the left side. We're hitting like both of them as they like line up. We have to decide if we want to move to the right within like how they're all circulating, or if we want to move around the side of them and decide which one is going to be easier in the future. We ended up getting clipped there, sad. That's my favorite pattern in that fight. But that's how, if we pick Lyrica, aside from that first pattern, not bad to deal with. Stage 5 is a bit of a reprieve from the last one. It's a lot shorter. It's a lot less problematic. The memo is not so bad. There's only like 2 sections we need to be super aware of. And the memo is really easy because, look, we're in the netherworld now. All these ghosts are going to pop up, and it's going to tell us where they're going to spawn. So the vast majority of the start of this stage is just relaxing from the last one. We don't need to know exactly where to go because we just follow where the ghosts are. Now, it will, as it progresses, be a little more problematic. Like that, those got to shoot a bit. That's more my fault. But once we get to here, we start off kind of on the right side and then move over to the left. If we start like right under the right ones and then tap left, we'll kill those and then only have to deal with the left ones. So we're going to get a combo of these fairies and these ghosts. And while a majority of it will just accidentally kill both of them together, we do have to worry about a section towards the end. Wherein we're going to do that same thing I was talking about earlier, where we'll start on one side, like directly under where one of them are spawning, like here. We hit some of them on the right, and then we tap over to the left, so we're only dealing with like one side of their shots at a time. We want to kill all of these immediately, except for this third one, so all you have to do is like tap once and move straight up, because it'll just be that vertical down. If you get 2 of them shooting, it's a problem. Here's Youmu. She's pretty hard. We're going to sit right above her hilt on the top left. We have to bait all of these non-spells a different way. By doing this, we could be shooting her here, and now we move up to the top right, so they don't linger anywhere on the bottom of the screen. We get all this damage. Whenever she shoots blue arrows, they're aimed at you. The red ones are aimed away, so you just tap on the blue. Now we see her gimmick. She's going to slice the bullet. She's got time freeze mechanic, kind of like Sakia, but it's a bit different. So we're going to try to be under her. As soon as she freezes, we're going to hold unfocus because it's slowed down time, so our fast speed doesn't cause issues for getting through the bullets. But getting back over to the left is a problem. Whenever she unfreezes time, the bullets are stuck to be in their slow speed. So like they didn't change speed at all. We won't handle it like that. That one's a bit scary. That one's like very bombable. Luckily, second half's pretty short. This looks scary. It's literally just one stream to the other. It's perfectly fine. And now for this section, we start on the right, and we're killing all of these as they come in. And then as we reach the left side, we dip into the middle for actual dodges. If we do this, they die all right away. There's often a lot of vertical lanes, and now we're to the end of the stage. We want to fight Youmu, starting by baiting. This one's a different... This non-spell, we have to bait a different way. Instead of on the hilt, we're on the very top left of the boss. We bait this. We get damage in. As soon as it stops, we haul ass over to the top right. Top right above her. If you go too slow, then these might spawn in a way to where they'll hit all at the bottom of the screen. You gotta do dodges. It's kind of a problem. Remember blue? You tap on, the red shoots away from you, so you don't even have to think about the red. You just think about tapping on the blue. We don't bait this one because we're stuck at the bottom, but it doesn't matter because these are easy to dodge. We only have to do it for a second. Here is our hardest pattern. This pattern is fucking nuts, man. This shit is not okay. It's so dense. It's so unbelievably dense. Like, you just have to find either the diagonal on the corner or whether the middle is just safer to dodge. You should just bomb this one. This shit is impossible, man. This thing is so hard. Like, look at this here. Do we even make it through here? It's hard because it speeds up. These ones, they don't retain their slow speed. I plan a bomb there. We didn't have a bomb going into it, so we're kind of stuck. I always set up this pattern a bit bad. Let's get back in the right setup. So this one is really easy, except it's kind of tight. It's literally just tapping because we're safe aimed in the middle if we just don't move, and we just have to worry about the knives. So whenever the knives go out, we just tap to the side a bit. Unfortunately, these knife handles are fairly long. They're really long. They're like... like most of the knife will miss you, and then the handle gets you. You have to find that like right distance. And then that one will be free. This one's kind of cool. She's going to wrap these bullets around. After the time freeze, we're going to make our way off to the side because these are going to go straight down. And we have to dodge. I would be dodging the faster color and then switch your focus to the other color. Luckily, we had a border here to make things a bit easier. That one could get a lot more dicey than that look because of that border. We have a bit of power, so I'm waiting for a cancel, but she took too long. This shit is a nightmare. I was trying to figure out how to do this where you can damage her enough, because she shoots aimed bullets, and we just have to watch these bottom bullets. However, I could not get it consistent to do enough damage to kill her before we get stuck on the right side, and we have to make a cutback. I'm like, fuck it, we just bomb her after she shoots once. With the shot bomb, our bomb does a lot of damage. This is a cool dodging one, so she's gonna slow down time, and it'll speed up afterwards. We want to aggressively move through these and be in a position so that when the slowdown is done, that we are automatically dodging any future bullets. Like, we're in a lane to where the future bullets will dodge us. After every time this finishes and we're through the pattern, we're trying to track where she is. Otherwise, we're getting no damage, and it gets scarier and scarier as it goes on and on. Let alone just dodging it multiple times. It gets a bit spooky. But you can see if you sit at the bottom, then you're barely dodging anything, and then they'll all speed up at the end. Just make sure you're aggressive. Look at the future bullets. Don't confirm that you dodged a bullet. Like, once you've read that you're dodging a bullet, now be looking up ahead, because you have a little bit of time while the slowdown is going to try to make that read. Now, the final stage. There are entire strategies for this game dedicated to not powering up for this entire game, because when you reach full power up, you get a screen cancel. This section is so unbelievably hard in the no miss, no bomb runs that there's a very popular strategy of just playing the entire game underpowered just so you get canceled this section. Now, you would just bomb this section, but we have no resources, so we have to do it raw. Look how crazy this is. It's like, this section is not okay. This section's not okay at all, and we have a fat-ass Marissa hitbox. That's the only time I've ever dodged that before. Now, this non-spell, she's pretty fatigued from the last fight. This shit's easy. We don't need to bait this. We just sit under her and kill her. There's like no crisscrossing overlap, really. The next pattern, we want to abuse a safe spot. These, remember, just like last time, the same rules apply. Blue or aimed, red or not. For the next spell card, we want to position ourselves based off this enemy indicator on the bottom. We are in between the E and the N. Because these bullets spawn really low, they're kind of scary. They spawn so low to the ground, and they don't speed up. See, on the third wave, we move to the N and the E. So 2 waves on the E to N, last wave on the N to E. That one's a bit dicey at dodge on the bottom. The slowdown isn't actually any slowdown. They're just the same speed as normal. Now we fight Yuyuko. Much easier than Remilia, thank God. And look at our resources. We have a ton of lives, even though we made a bunch of mistakes. And we look at our points. We're missing like several extends. This game gives you much, much more resources. EOSD is like the least resource-heavy game. The rest give you a ton more. Now, Yuyuko's a lot less bullshit than Remilia. So we have more than enough resources to get through here. This opening pattern's very cool. This looks a bit spicy there, but there's always, like, you either have a clean lane like this, or it's always going to give you a gap, and it's fine. This is a significantly easier final pattern than Remilia's. So we just get through here, even though we're, like, not hitting her for the most part. Our, this shot type's actually incredibly good against this boss, which I'll explain in a bit. This one's always going to rotate the same way. It's going to go this way, and then we have to go the other way. We want to dodge one layer at a time. You just dodge each side at a time, and once you make it through, then the next one will approach. I kind of brain fart here because I was EOSD brain. In EOSD, that shit would have killed me with its messed up square hitboxes. Now she has a fan here. So what we're going to do is we're going to bait this first shot in the middle, waiting for these donuts. Donuts are way less scary in this game. They are quite open. Now, look at how much damage we're doing. We're not doing that much. We hit the fan, we're hitting her, but it's not that much damage. However, our laser is piercing. So whenever we make it to Yuyuko, look at our damage. It hits both of them. So because of that extra damage, we don't ever have to cut back to the left side. We could just keep tapping to the right, and look, we kill her before it finishes. Now, that's such a cool strategy for this section where you're moving clockwise right around her. I couldn't get it consistent. I think it might be harder than doing it normal. This is a spicy pattern. It's static. It shouldn't be that bad, but you have to find your way in through these like past in between the gaps of these. But you see, some of them are like kind of tight together. I should have made that one there. I thought I had a bomb, so I wasn't as aggressively looking for an opening as we could have had. Now this non-spell, we sit in the middle. We're gonna dodge one of these donuts. The donuts are very small, so we can make our way through. And now we escape out the sides. We're going to dodge 2 layers of these donuts, and then we're going to make our way back into the middle, sneaking through these before they kind of curve around, and now we're completely safe in the middle. We just have to dodge in between these donuts. Our hitboxes are way smaller now. From now on, donuts aren't a problem in Touhou. You can handle this one however you want. It's all static, minus, well, these blue bullets are aimed, but they're, like, effectively random, I think. There are so many different ways to do this. Do note that these ghosts, as it approaches to do its explosion, those can hit you, those, like, laser lines. But you can take advantage of the fact that they go in and out, so as long as they're not, like, blowing up right on top of you, you can get by them as they go in. Anyway, that way I just find easiest for me. This should be a super easy pattern because the blue shoot at you and the teal shoot around you fairly wide. So quite literally, we just tap one direction for one blue, tap the other direction for the other, like, solid blue, and then we literally are just dodging green bullets. But you see I make a mistake here. I dodge around a teal bullet, and then I get confused in where I'm at, and I forget which color is what. So this otherwise, like, completely brain-dead pattern is now, I'm completely lost, and now we dodged around another teal bullet. And we have to bomb. That's an embarrassing bomb. We have so many resources, though. This is like the easiest pattern she has. So look at this coffin. Look at this open area she's created for us. It's created this, like, kind of coffin shape. We want to be up on the point to where we have that more horizontal room up here. And at this vertical axis, look, we start on the right side of there. And then we just tap to the left whenever the bullets are about to hit us. We move over to the side like this. And you can see at this exact height, we can tap and we'll always pass by these butterflies. It's super, super consistent to do this way. It's completely static. So once you've learned the strategy, you can handle this thing every single time. You just have to make sure not to tap too quickly, but you can tap ahead of, like, any of these spare butterflies that linger about. And you have the room to do that. You don't have to, like, end up running into those, being scared that you might move ahead too fast. Here's our final pattern. Get around these donuts like that. Those are just there to scare you. We get to dodge this initial bit here, which is pretty nice, or get to cancel that with our. This pattern is it's pretty easy at the beginning, but you can see everything's really slow. Stuff starts overlapping a lot. I just pop a bomb here. I plan on popping a bomb here. The butterflies will cover, like, one side, and if you end up, like, stuck on that side with a bunch of overlapping bullets, it causes a bunch of issues. There's no bomb shield, though, so we just melt that pattern entirely. There's no bomb shield because that was not our final pattern. Now we have to fight the real final pattern. This is the tree. It's got no health bar. We just have to survive. So the butterflies, we just get in between them and we're good. But these ones here, we're trying to dodge them aggressively up before they expand so that we're dodging, like, singular bullets. Now, every iteration is getting faster and faster, so we're trying to just get through each pair of two of them, making one movement through each pair of two red butterflies. But as it gets faster and faster, you might not be able to make the same dodge. You see there, it's kind of scary to get to the last two pairs of them. So you might have to, instead of, like, dipping in between those, you might have to dip to the left a bit. Like, there was probably the time where we had to do that. You can, while this is a timeout pattern where don't actually do any damage with our bomb, we do kill time with our bomb, and our bombs last a really long time. So I kind of just tried to see if I could dodge that pattern, get the capture on. I've only ever captured this once because at the end, these, like, red shots get scary. I do think towards the end, you can kind of let these start to shoot a bit, and it's fine. I think you can let them expand a little bit, like down here, and it's not too bad. There might be, like, you have to talk to somebody better than me, but I think, like, instead of going by pairs of two, I think towards the end, you can, like, go through one red and then escape out. But this is where if you have a bunch of resources, you bomb your way there. Once you have no bombs, you just go for the cool dodges. Try to see if you could capture. You get a lot of cherries, so that can help you out with clearing them out. But that's Touhou 7. I have a lot more appreciation of this game after doing this run here. When I initially played it, when I was first starting Touhou, I wasn't too big on a lot of the randomized dodging and really the theme. But as I played on here, I appreciate the stage design a lot more, especially after EOSD. Appreciate a whole lot more about this game. The theming is incredibly, incredibly cool. Like this one a lot more than I was expecting to. I thought this would be one that we just like, I like Touhou. 8's my favorite. 8's the next one we're going to do, and that's by far my favorite Touhou. I think that's the best one. So I just wanted to get this one done. So I was kind of surprised at how much I liked kind of the atmosphere. And oddly enough, the slower RNG dodging, that's not as bullshit as 6, but fairly hard. I wasn't expecting to like this one as much as I did. Even playing like Marissa B is kind of a low tier ship compared to the other ones you could pick to make it a bit easier than we did. That said, our bomb's are really good and our damage is pretty solid. Anyway, that was my experience with Touhou 7. If you're trying to jump into Lunatic, this is kind of some idea of what it'll be like. Hopefully that was cool. Anyway, good luck on all the runs you're doing. Hopefully this was fun. I'll see you guys for the next one. Here's a bit of a bonus if you're trying to set up this game yourself. You have to use DigiVoodoo and Special K to make it run better. There's a big Reddit thread here. You just grab the download from that. These settings for DigiVoodoo, they're probably not perfect. And you see here the 3x right there. That's for like I have a 1440p monitor. If you have less or more, you change this number and it fits fine. But this got it to where it's not laggy anymore and it runs good. So maybe that could help.